Because he firmly believed that me and another one of our friends, both of us lesbians, were wrong about the nature of scissoring. I'm gonna have an aneurysm today. Today is the day. Someone come take me before the Lord does. There's one thing we hate in this world, it is mansplaining and also getting places in the most convenient way possible. So it is 10:30 p.m. and I thought, why not piss myself off by reading out stories that you have sent in about your experiences with mansplaining. I posted in the community tab of my channel for you guys to send in stories about your experiences with mansplaining. That's actually quite a big sentence, troubling sentence for me. And to no one's surprise, there were quite a few submissions. Not sure where these people store the audacity, but it is plentiful. If you don't know what mansplaining is, Google is your best friend, mate. Where have you been? But before we start, I would like to say thank you to the sponsor of this video, Yuli, which is a women's online and telehealth service that is designed to support Australian women and their medical needs in a discreet and quick and easy way. Let's dive right in. I have been busting to read these. Dying to read, I've really wanted to read these. I've intentionally avoided this page so that these are all fresh in my mind. Had an aircon installed and the electrician was going through all the usual aftercare things. He brought me into the garage to look at the switchboard. He asked me if I knew what it was and I told him I was familiar and knew how to use it. He proceeded to explain in great detail, might I add, that if a switch is labeled living room, that's the switch I need to flick if the power goes out in the living room. Oh. This is already. I mean, and lucky he told you, because how else would you have figured that one out? If the switch is labeled laundry, that I need to flick that switch if the power in the laundry goes out. And if I get stuck on what to do, to flick the switch the same way as I would a light switch. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. What? If we don't laugh, we'll cry. Like, what is that? I interjected a few times letting this dude know that I was capable of reading a label and could work out how to flick a switch, but he continued on with his mansplanation. Love that word. So I just let him. That was painful to read. I cannot imagine having to listen. I would lose it. Back in high school health class, I got into a heated argument with a friend of mine who was the bass pro shop band of straight men. You guys kill me sometimes, honestly. Because he firmly believed that me and another one of our friends, both of us lesbians, were wrong about the nature of scissoring. Oh my God. Well, you know what? And the amount of audacity it takes to mansplain scissoring to a pair of lesbians is truly astounding. Just align the chakras before I continue. He used several visual aids, including hand gestures, porn screenshots, which I hope he didn't just have readily available, and the color by number diagram of a vulva that was... Oh buddy, we're really diving in the deep end here. And the color by number diagram of a vulva that we had all done together in that class to explain why we didn't know what we were doing very loudly and in front of an entire class of 16/17-year-olds. The teacher just kind of watched. I think she was too amused to tell us to take the debate elsewhere. Abby, babe, I don't know. You have the patience of a saint. That's painful. And I feel like the rest of this video is gonna be equally as painful. Why do I get the sneaking suspicion that that's the case? And I need a breather. I think we all need to just simmer. So that brings us to the sponsor of this video, Yuli. As I said before, Yuli is a women's online and telehealth service. It supports women with their health needs in a quick, convenient, and discreet way. Yuli is available for women 16 and up and offers discreet text-based consultations with Australian GPs and pharmacists. Yuli is also the first online and delivery service for the morning after pill. They work with local pharmacies, pharmacists, and delivery partners so that Aussie women have the flexibility to have their scripts delivered to their door. This includes a contraception pill, morning after pill, the Nuva ring, herpes medication, thrush and cold sore treatment, and if you need a repeat on the medication, Yuli also handles that as well. There is fast and free shipping for your prescriptions. I was super excited to get an email from Yuli because it really is a great service that I think all women should have access to. There's a lot of roadblocks, a lot of weird red tape with being a woman in general, but specifically with sexual health. And I know my audience is largely female, so if this sounds like you, make sure you click the link below. That'll take you to where you need to learn more about the service and to get started. And thanks so much again to Yuli for supporting women and also supporting the channel. When my classmate was trying to explain to me and my friend, we're both lesbians and therefore women, why is this? This is already a pattern. We're 3 submissions deep and this is already a pattern. Scary place to be, this planet sometimes. classmate was trying to explain to me and my friend how to please a woman, how to play with her, etc. I was like, okay, not something I'd try out, but if it works for him, then fine. Half a year later, I learned that he didn't know what the clitoris was. Guys, come on. It's a 2-minute Google search. There's no excuse anymore. Ask a question, Google something, not porn. I digress. The worst thing is we had anatomy of the entire human being last semester where we learned about the reproductive system. How dense do you have to be to do a whole goddamn class on the reproductive system? And miss the most important part still. It's blowing my mind, that's for goddamn sure. So I was out one day meeting a friend and some random man felt it was necessary to walk over to us and give us a lecture about our generation and being on their phones when they were with people. Heavy boomer energy right there. But neither of us were on our phones, which I pointed out to the man. At which point he heard me speak and he was like, oh, you must not be from here. You sound German. To which I said, I'm most definitely not German. I have no family from there, nor have I ever been there. He proceeded to go on about how languages are his thing and he knows that I'm definitely German. Dude, you're not German. You're just not. Where is the audacity stored? Wait, what organ are we missing that this person has? He's just got all this room for the audacity. While trying to tell me that I was German, he asked me what languages I know and I said only English and Irish. And his response to that was, oh, only 2 languages. How many languages do you speak, sir? And to top it all off, he said my accent was weird and he left with the least fluent sounding hasta luego, I don't speak Spanish, that I had ever heard. Probably sounded a little bit like mine just then. So this man who did not know me thought he knew better than I did what nationality I am and at the same time complained to us about something we weren't even doing. This is bothering me. I cannot imagine how you felt. Insulted my accent and belittled me for only knowing 2 languages. I only know 1, babes. Most people only know 1. So yeah, great conversation that I really obviously wanted to be a part of. I feel jealous that I wasn't there. Why? Is it that they're bored? Are they lonely? Are they bored? What's the driving force behind this behavior? I would genuinely love to be like a fly on the wall in their frontal lobe. I used to work at a running specialty store. In other words, it was like your typical sporting goods retail store that only sold running related items. So my co-worker, who is a woman, is trying to fit this girl for running shoes. When it comes to running shoes, they have different levels of cushioning, support, widths, etc. And the father of the girl keeps trying to flex his knowledge on everything. Problem is, every single thing that he was saying is wrong. You love to see it. We really do love to see it. And trust me, my coworker enjoyed correcting everything that he said as she should. And I had to hold back how much I wanted to laugh during all of this. We love to see employees exercising their knowledge. The marriage of retail and mansplaining is just, it's upsetting to even ponder. In the beginning of junior year of high school, we were put into groups to work on some assignment and it had to be uploaded on Google Classroom. You know, the platform that almost every student ever knows how to use. And even if you didn't, it's made by Google, so it's meant to be easily accessible to everyone. Correct. This one dude was trying to guide me through how to get into the class page, attach our document and submit it. I've been using computers since I was consciously able to use my hands. And I'd say that's true for a large portion of Gen Z as well, so not really understanding the objective there. Side note, I'm a computer science major, minor detail there. So looking back on it now, it just angers me. And yes, I'm AFAB as well. I really do love, like, the icing on the cake of this story for me is the fact that you are now a computer science major. I got in an argument with a guy in my class about how periods work. Can't wait to read the rest of this. And about the fact that we do not decide when it happens. Do I want to read the rest of this? I'm riled. I'm riled and it's up. It's all up. I'm riled up. I am a woman and I have had a period every month for about 5 years now and I can predict when it happens. Well, it started when I was in class, so I asked the teacher to go to the bathroom. Everything was fine until a guy in my class made a comment later about how I could have waited and tried to explain to me how we decide when we get our period. What do they think is going on down there? What do they think is happening? Because none of it's correct. I also had someone try and explain to me that you can hold your period in the same way that you can hold in a pee. You can't do that. That's not an option that we have. I haven't got that upgrade yet. I'm not sure who does. Second comment on this post, but a short one. Had an ex-boyfriend who tried explaining to me what women like in bed and disagreed with me when I was talking about what I liked. Buddy. I love that it's an ex-boyfriend. We'll say that. Needless to say, it might have been the moment I realized I was definitely not straight. Fair enough. Health class was talking about menstrual cycles and the girls were discussing it. It was a group project with those match cards. And this guy said that women cut their you-know-what each month, therefore they should be able to avoid it and stop complaining. That they cut their... My friend argued that he's wrong and an idiot, but he wouldn't give up. What does this mean? Like they cut their... I did not get the memo on that. I also know another guy though who, I lived with a dude once where when we were talking about periods, he was like, oh, well, once the wound heals, then it stops. And when I tell you, everyone in the room went dead silent because he thought each month a wound arrives and subsequently heals, and that's what a period was. The wound. Oh, I hope he doesn't see this. Well, no, you know what? We all had a good laugh at him. Now he knows it's not a wound. So I was at school and had to rush out of class because I had gotten my period. Love being a woman. I returned to the class after addressing the situation, and as I sat down, the guy sitting next to me asked why I'd ran out of the room. I replied, because I got my period. This man replies with all the confidence in the world. I love where this is going. Why didn't you just hold it in? Why would we be able to do that? Obviously, I told him we cannot in fact hold in our menstrual blood, and this man proceeds to explain to me his take on female anatomy and why he thought it was in fact possible for me to hold in my period blood. It's very much like a yes or no scenario. Like, yes we can, no we can't. And the answer is it's no. According to him, if I strengthen my core muscles, I would be able to fend off the flow. Oh wow, that's like a great lyric. And the blood would remain in my veins. In my veins, as per usual. I'm gonna have an aneurysm today. Today is the day. Someone come take me before the Lord does. He was also saying shit like, I can't believe I have to teach you about this stuff. I'm more of a girl than you are. Respectfully, sir, what the actual fuck? Yes, took the words directly out of my mouth. Say I wish shooketh is an understatement. I will forever remember that day as the day a white man explained periods. Poorly. That's fun. One time I was in a McDonald's at 11:30 at night on a Wednesday, and I have questions about why you were there. Actually, you know what? Safe space, we don't judge. We have all been there. And overheard a man in a suit. I have more questions about why a man in a suit is at a Macca's on 11:30 on a Wednesday, but we digress. Overheard a man in a suit very loudly mansplaining bowling over the phone. Bowling. How many steps are there in bowling? Honestly, had someone who has never touched a makeup brush try and mansplain drag to me. A drag queen. What the fuck? Oh my god, why? I was at the gym once minding my own business while doing a wall sit, and a guy walked up to me to let me know that if I held a weight while doing it, then it would make it harder. True. All of that information and for free. Like, I had no idea that adding weight to something would make an exercise harder. Well, you're a woman, how could you know? So I'm a female who works out a lot, and I'm constantly getting told by men in the gym that I'm doing workouts wrong. Once I was deadlifting about 225 and a guy came up to me and said, you might want to take some of those plates off. The more you add, the heavier it is. Thanks, guy. Cheers, bro. That's amazing information you've got for us there. Ugh. We have to laugh. We have to laugh because once again, if we do not laugh, we will cry. He mansplained mansplaining, and this might just be the last one for the video. A friend of mine never realizes how often he ignores / disregards my thoughts, so I love to mock him when he fucks up. It was a trivial discussion and I called him out when he was wrong, and then he tried to mansplain why he was right. I think it was about driving on the motorway. I told him to stop mansplaining, which he hated, so he told me he wasn't mansplaining and then mansplained mansplaining. The joy of watching him dig that hole in front of our friends is something I will never forget. I'm very glad that you had that tiny little bit of satisfaction within that experience. That is all for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. That was rough. And there's so many more stories that this would make like a 40-minute video. If you're new here, I give shout outs at the end of every video to people who become members of my channel, which you can do with the link in the below. You can do that with the link in the description / the link below. And the shout out goes to Jay Blazin. Thank you for becoming a member of the channel. We're not able to speak anymore. That's where we need to wrap the video up.